And we're back once again. Let the haters hate. What's going on with y'all, man? Shout out to my man, Tac Man Killer in here early, man. Before the bell even rang. Appreciate you, brother. Let's see what we got going on. What's up? Kwasi, you got it, brother. Not much. Nothing much. Another day, right? Shout out to everybody in the building. Asagai. What's up? Fantastic. What you work on today? I just finished chest and back. You know what I did today, man? I just hit the bag today. All I did was hit the bag today. Today was a cardio day. This is my first all cardio day. So I did cardio today. I did like an hour of heavy bag, speed bag, jump ropes, and neck work and abs. So I did like a little quick boxing workout. I gotta get my gas back up, man. My gas is horrible right now. My gas is horrible. Trunk Toys, you got it, brother. What's going on? Yeah, I gotta get this tank built back up, bro. I'm doing good though, as far as fucking leaning and cutting down. That's going great. But you know. So today we'll be having my man Shaheen in here. And he's pretty much going to be telling us the story of his childhood story to manhood. Something often that Black men don't get to say, don't get to tell, you know. Erks, what's up? Caillou, you got it, bro. Yeah, boy. Hey, that's I got you telling me, bro. Oh my God. A year ago, before this stuff hit, man, I was really like into it, like every day on the daily. I could go the full 3 rounds easy. Now, man, I got to get my wind back up. Full rounds, 14 ounce, full 3-minute rounds. I think the most I ever did was like 8 rounds, 14-ounce gloves. Gotta get a tank back up though, man. When I gained all that weight and I got swole, man. That killed my cardio. Yeah. Well, my bad. Either way, let me get back into my little setup for my special guest. So far too often, Black men are only seen as the man. Okay, well, we all know that before any man becomes a man, he first is a boy. All right, and far too often, especially amongst us mortals, us non-celebrities, non-entertainers, extremely high earners, millionaires, and billionaires or what have you. No one ever really gets to hear the story unless you actually have a conversation with them for the most part. And it's crazy. I think again, this space is the essence of what's supposed to happen when a brother reaches that level of success. And again, success isn't the same for every person or in every area. Bro, if you're clearing 6 figures in Georgia, you doing something. All right, I promise you. If you're clearing 6 figures in the South, and I know, well, in Atlanta, bro, that's even money in Atlanta, bro. Trust and believe. All right. If you want to stay downtown Atlanta, like in the city, in the lofts and shit, of course not. But I promise you, bro, the areas and things around it, it's plenty of other ways to do it. And either way it goes, you're well above the median income, the regular income, not just nationally, but of the state of Georgia. far too often, you know, we have this mentality, man, of, well, oh nigga, you ain't making no money. Oh nigga, you ain't doing nothing. You ain't really doing nothing. Oh, if you once you break, you know, past the median income, which I think for black men is $34,000, oh nigga, you're still broke. You double that up and you making double that, oh nigga, well, you ain't rich. You hit six figures, well, nigga, you rich, but you ain't really rich. You hit a millionaire, oh nigga, you rich, but you ain't Trump rich. You ain't Jay-Z rich. It's always something. It's always this thing. And the thing with the black community, bro, unfortunately, it's crazy. You know, it's never enough. But everybody looks to you to help them up. We had this conversation here far earlier where it's like the educated lames is supposed to come back to the community and give back and take care. No, nigga, I'm not. Or they're not. No, a man that has taken his hard work, especially when he's triumphed over adversity, the same thing he did right next to you. He made the right choices. He put in the time. He put in the effort. He put in the fucking work, got the benefits. It's not supposed to come back and give it to your broke ass, your lazy ass, your unproductive ass, your dumb ass. No, he's not. He don't owe it to you. He don't owe it to your children. He don't owe it to no one but to who he decides he owes it to. And the black community is the only community that you can come in here and you can shame the successful for not wanting to automatically forfeit their success to the unsuccessful. I'll say that again. The black community is the only community where you can come in and shame the successful for not forfeiting their success to the unsuccessful, for not automatically turning over their productivity to the unproductive. When is it going to stop? Until we have an understanding of that, I don't think things are going to improve that much. Shout out to the new 580, man. That's facts. I'm close to 70K, make double what most do, and still it's not enough in people's eyes. Still young and growing, but can be disheartening. Exactly, brother. Man, you know, and that's why I say, you know, positivity is a very, very important thing amongst each other. And I done ran my mouth long enough, man. We have a very, very well-spoken, very highly achieving brother here to explain his own story. And I'm gonna pretty much give it to him, turn it over, let him drive the car, and we'll go back and forth from there. Welcome to the stream, brother. Thank you for your time. What's up with you?
Nothing much. How you doing, man?
Hey, bro, another day. I can't complain.
Appreciate it. So what are we talking about?
Pretty much your origin story, man. Let us know. You gave us a little bit of it the other day. Let the brothers know whatever you want to disclose about your childhood, and definitely hit them with all the credentials of today. Just give us a walkthrough from beginning to end if you can.
What's happening, you guys? I'm from Macon, but I was born in Warner Robins, Georgia. Kind of had a rough childhood growing up. In the 80s, my mom got married at an early age, had two little girls. Her husband at the time was in the military, and they got married because she got pregnant, and that didn't work out. Got a divorce. The two girls went to live with their father in Virginia because he was in the military, and I guess my mom started spiraling out of control then before she had me. Got addicted to cocaine. Was robbing, stealing, doing a lot of stuff she shouldn't have had no business doing at about a young age. So about the age of 23, 24, she had me. And I was kind of like the afterthought. Like she had me and she kept doing what she was doing. Like she was out doing drugs, robbing, in and out of jail. I stayed with aunties and cousins and friends and just whoever who could take care of me at the time. So right about the age of like 8, 9 years old, my mom decided that she's just gonna up and leave one day. So she left me in the apartment at that age for about 4 or 5 days. She just took off, and I didn't hear from her since. The neighbors took me in. After a couple of days, they couldn't take care of me anymore. They had 3 boys of themselves, and so I went into foster care at around that age, 8.5, 9 years old.
Let me hop in real quick. Let me pause you right there. Put a pin in it. So I know you're not familiar with the space, bro. Are you familiar with the space?
No.
Okay, cool. So what happens a lot, man, is like say you told the story of a lot of the issues, and what's crazy is hell we were like the last generation of like good moms. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like real moms not being out in the club, and moms not OnlyFans and all this kind of crazy stuff, right?
Hmm.
But yet and still, even way back then, you went through this experience, and the irresponsibility of Black women when it came to them having kids, and actually caring about the kids or loving the kids, and taking care of them, and looking at children as an investment versus just you know uh, just something to do. We
Hmm.
talk about that all the time, and we often get pushback of saying, "Oh, that don't exist. That don't happen. Y'all just making this up. Y'all just making this up." So, I just wanted to point that out for the audience and people that be listening on the playback. So, just continue, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Like she just took off. I mean, even before then, like she was leaving with my aunt and her mom, and they were on government assistance. So all I knew at that time was just going down to the food line, picking up crates of food and bringing it home, getting the food stamps to the mail. So we were, that was our life. And so, yeah, yeah, she left. I went to foster home, was raised in a foster home. Wasn't the best of situations. Everybody say, foster homes are different. Mine was, good and bad over time. I mean, it was just something that, it was the best situation for me to be in, growing up. Anyway, I made a decision around about the age of 13, that I wasn't going to become a statistic. I said to myself, I'm not going to be, living off the government. I'm not going to be, I'm going to make something out of myself.
So,
So I started playing.
real quick. Again, you said what now? You made a what now?
What do you mean? Like I told myself, I
No,
made a pact
just
with
repeat
myself.
it. I'm just trying to put emphasis on a lot of critical things. Just let me rock real quick, and I'll let you know.
Hmm.
Bro, you are the epitome and the pinnacle of the possibilities of what the Black man is often told he cannot do. Again, in this space, we often hear that Black men are products of their environment. They grow up in poverty. Poverty is an excuse for them being impoverished themselves. Poverty is an excuse for them not getting educated. Poverty is an excuse of them turning to criminality. It's a lot of excuse making being made, But before you even reach manhood, we're thinking as a man and said, "Hey, I'm not going to be a statistic. I'm not going to be this guy that says I'm a product of my environment." So I just wanted to point that out. Go ahead, brother. You got it.
Yeah, I made that pact with myself when I'm about 12, 13 years old, because I knew where my family was, where they came from. They really didn't have much of anything. Nobody had went to college. Had one uncle who was in the military, had a family, but that was basically it. Everybody else was in and out of jail. And I was like, I'm in foster care. It's not really anything I can do, but I'm gonna make sure I don't, make the same mistakes I see my folks making. And coming from Macon, I mean, a lot of times on the east side, you don't really see a lot of guys making stuff out of themselves. But I was determined. So anyway, started playing football in middle school, um, and was pretty good at it. Got to high school, um, played even more, and started getting some college scholarship offers, and started to entertain those, and make sure my grades were still doing good. And so by the time I was a junior in high school, got a couple of offers to play um, football from Auburn, University of Florida, Georgia. But ultimately, because of myself and some stuff that I had done in high school, I didn't really know the ins and outs of trying to maneuver and get a scholarship and know that you have to do an SAT and all this stuff right here, because we didn't really have the guidance that we needed at a predominantly black high school, to be honest with you. So I ended up going to Georgia Southern University. While there, played down there, won a couple of championships. Um, at Tore my ACL, MCL, meniscus, partially tore tricep, and decided football wasn't for me after I graduated. But stayed there, got my degree in public relations, communications, um, and moved to Atlanta. Had a girlfriend my last semester in college, because I was on the football team and didn't want to be held down by just one lady. So I got my girlfriend. We moved to Atlanta, where she's from. Started our life. Went back to school. Got my master's degree in and business administration and health administration. Been working at a lot of big time firms, from the CDC to some big time PR firms as the director of community relations for a hospital, a major mental health hospital in Atlanta. I work with the state government and local governments. Working right now with a major university here in Atlanta. And also I run my own PR firm where I do a lot of political campaigns. So I run political campaigns for both Republicans and Democrats, run for state positions, local positions, sheriff, judgeships, you name it, I do it. And so that's essentially what I envisioned my life being when I was growing up in Macon, having come from being abandoned as a child, going to foster care. I knew at that point in time that I wasn't gonna make the same mistakes that my mom was making when she was strung out on drugs and not having, her two daughters with her, and then abandoning me, and then all the guys I was raised with. I mean, I was raised with like maybe 200 guys in and out that house. Maybe out of all those guys, 3 or 4 of them are doing well with themselves right now.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 or 4 of them. I know some of them went in jail for murder, robbery, life sentences. I know a lot of guys I was raised with that you wouldn't even think that had that in them. Like, those guys are locked up for some mistakes they made in their early 20s, still to this day.
Man. So let me do this real quick. Shout out to my man, Tac Man Killer 187 for the 2. Thank you, brother. Miss Fantastic. Thank you for your service, Navy family. Yeah, for sure, brother. Thank you. So yeah, man. Listen, you pointed out a couple. Let's go to the high school route. So me and you didn't really cross paths too much in high school, but it's funny about how like we you know what I'm saying, we really ran each other real tough, I guess, or frequently on Facebook, and it was crazy how we clicked and we had like the same mindset. You said it to me one time. He's like, "Damn, bro." He's like, "Shit, we never even really talked in high school." So it's
we did. I told you that. Yep.
He's like, "Damn," but hey, you niggas have cliques and shit. You football dude. I'm a basketball dude.
Basketball,
you know what I'm saying? Yep. And like you said, man, I remember the name change thing too. That was in. I slipped up and said I won't say your name again, but we came back and Coach Wright would always he would love saying your name. The way he said your name was just so fucking funny. You know what I mean? And shout out to Coach Wright, man. And Coach Wright, man, I tell people these stories. It's funny. People from Macon would understand it, but people down outside don't get it. But I try to tell them. I remember we was in what did he teach? Health. He taught health and sex education. Yeah. He told us a story about like, hey man, he's like, hey, they told me they was trying to get me to join a gang. And they said, hey man, we're gonna fight, we're gonna do this, and if a nigga pull a gun out, we're gonna fight them too. He said, hold on now, we gonna do what now? He said, yeah, niggas pull out guns, nigga, we still fight. He said, hey man, I don't know what the hell y'all got going on, but if somebody pull that gun out, they gonna say 2 things. They gonna say either there he lay or there he go. And I'm gonna be the one that they saying there he go. All right. And like I said, man, Coach Wright was one of those guys, man. I used a black man that wore cowboy boots and a cowboy hat and a bolo in Macon, Georgia. When I tell you, man, I was like, wow, this guy's a character. All right, that's not something you often see in Macon, Georgia. A black man with cowboy boots and a cowboy hat. But he's a staple of Macon. You know what I mean? A long time legendary coach, whatnot. I think he went from Northeast to what, Southwest, and he
went. Yeah, Coach Wright was one of those guys. Give you guys a background on him, man. He came from a small city in South Georgia. During the time, a lot of black guys wasn't getting a lot of head coaching positions. He went to Albany State University, won a championship there, and just started shooting up the ranks. And came to Macon, to Northeast, turned that football program around, made those guys, a lot of guys in the area, just was like trying to do a lot of fake gang banging, hanging out with their homeboys, skipping school, what have you. He came in and made a winning program out of that school. One of the ones to be a force to be reckoned with in Middle Georgia. Left there, he went to Southwest, tried to do the same thing. I think he did do the same thing. Took those guys to some winning seasons. But now I think he's retired down in South Georgia, Middle Georgia somewhere, doing pretty good. But this guy would like really jump on you. I don't see this guy jump over coolers doing football games. We're in the locker room and straight get down in these guys' face and like, you know, tell them like you got
Oh yeah, I heard
more to
stories, man.
yourself. Yeah.
Stories say he was a choker.
Yeah. He choked a lot of people out. He didn't choke me because I always hold I would like, you know, like a turtle, like put my head down inside my shoulder pads. So you're gonna choke me. But he choked a lot of guys out because he knew they had more than what they were putting out. And so if he saw you, you know, not giving your all, whether it be in class or on the field or what have you, he was coming at you hard.
Yeah, man, and like you said, one big thing that young black men really don't have, and like you said, sports is a very positive uh, thing that can keep young black men out of the streets, out of the gangs, out of the criminality, and all these other things. But one of the other big things, man, and like I said, you've definitely proven is that the brothers get pushed in and encouraged to sports more so than they do the intellectual side, even though they clearly have it in them. And what's your take on that, as far as like you being, of course, athlete, but where were you as far as like, the importance of uh, or the lack thereof of intelligence and education being enforced as much as athleticism was?
Well, I think that for the black community in general, education isn't pushed a lot in inner city schools at all. A majority of the people, family members or students think that in order to make it out of the inner city or out of those poor areas, you got to be, you know, an athlete. And I think that if a lot of people, I mean, there are so many scholarships out there available to minorities to obtain if somebody just pushes them forward. Like nobody ever pushed me towards education. Nobody ever told me that, hey, you can go, you know, on a full ride scholarship just by studying. You can go to any school you want to if you get the GPA and the SAT score. Any school you want to, because of the color of your skin, will accept you based on, you know, you achieving high scores. And I think a lot of the times in our community, we're not pushing that. And it needs to be talked about more because most people think that the only way you can get into college if you don't have any money is to be good at sports, and that's not the case.
And another big thing too, man, is like you said, there's like literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions, more of you. Well, actually, it would be millions, I think, more of you than there are professional athletes or even semi-pro athletes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it's more guaranteed by the can't be refuted by the numbers and the statistics of the guys out here with degrees that are making and longevity. Because I mean, what the average NFL contract was, I think, what 3 years or 5 years, something like that.
Yep. What are you doing? What are you doing after that?
And furthermore, like I said, the horror stories of all these guys mismanaging their money or getting robbed because they don't even know how to properly check and balance the people handling their money for them because they never got the education. So tell us a little more about you doing all of the wonderful things as far as your profession, but then what made you want to venture out into entrepreneurship to understand like, hey, I'm making this money for myself. I'm great at this. This is already guaranteed. Let me be my own boss in some way or fashion, and get me another stream of income and revenue.
Okay, so I was, like I said before, I got my degree in public relations and communications from Georgia Southern. So I kind of really picked my degree at that point in time because of the creativity of it, and I really didn't like math, and I know I wasn't going to be really good at science, but I knew that I wanted to not box myself in. So everybody needs a PR person, which is essentially, for you guys who know what PR is, it's just basically somebody who speaks on your behalf or can paint you in a positive light. Think of, if you guys watch the TV show Scandal, Olivia Pope is a version of PR. Like she's painting the picture for the public, a perception. And so I knew that I liked to tell stories. I knew that I liked to be creative, and I knew that I had a graphic arts side to me as well, because that's what all those components kind of bring into play. And so when I graduated, I went and I worked for this large PR firm called Porter Novelli. Porter Novelli is an international PR firm. that focuses in on various different areas. But for my sector here in Atlanta, we focused on the CDC. And so the Centers for Disease Control. And so what we did was essentially write and create materials for physicians to effectively relay their thoughts to their patients, and more specifically HIV and AIDS. So we basically educated the doctors who are used to speaking at a level that's higher than the common person on how to speak to someone who may have a third grade education about protecting themselves against HIV and AIDS.
Wow.
And
So let me put a pin in that. So great, that's a great point. So that's an often thing that I don't think people understand. And you are the subject matter expert on that. So I'm glad you said it. That's something we're taught even in the military. I was an instructor for a minute, and they said you have to teach at the level of your audience. So and unfortunately, like you said, a lot of the, especially in the Atlanta area, the Black community, which is the highest affected, I think is Black women have the highest well, in Atlanta, I think the percentage goes to Black male rate, but then it's Black regardless, unfortunately.
Yep.
So speaking to the level of your audience, so that they understand. So you're not trying to grandstand, you're not trying to sound like the smartest guy in the room, you're not trying to use them $20 words, as they say. But you're actually trying to convey a very, very important message. Go give us a little bit more of that, man, and your expertise, and probably another example that you could use of how often you see people miss that or not, miss the chance to utilize it or something like that. Give us like a little trick of the trade if you can.
How to break down what you're saying to fit your audience?
Something like that.
Okay. So another way that I do that is, I mentioned a little while ago that I run political campaigns. And so there are different educational brackets when you're producing material, whether it be speech writing, whether you're doing a commercial, whether you're sending out a mailer in the mail. There are certain things and certain words that you use to find that medium balance between that person who may have a PhD or a doctorate to that person who may have stopped going to school because she had a baby in the 7th grade. So you have to find that medium. And so what I do is try to use words that I use on a daily basis. Like every day, I don't speak, with those $10 words every day, because that's not what I use in my home. So it's just like catering your message to your audience wherever you are. Like you wouldn't speak, like for me, when I'm in Macon, I have a different twang and a different talk when I'm in Macon, because that's when the people I'm around, they speak differently. If I'm here in Atlanta, there's a more diverse group of people, so I don't speak that same way. So it's all about targeting your message. Some people may say, in the Black community, it's like speaking white. Well, it's not really speaking white. It's you're educating. You're speaking from an educated facet, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, because like I just said that yesterday, code switching is something like we
exactly.
Code switching, and I think it's a lost art, or like you said, it's offensive to do that, to understand your surroundings and understand the crowd. Like you said, if me and you around, and people don't even know. I think people don't even understand that. Me and you can be like like literal blood brothers, or real cool best friends, right? And we'll have a conversation, a vernacular, and like you say, a way of speaking to each other when it's just us two, versus when we're in the front or we're like in a business meeting or something, what have you. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't, my nigga, in the middle of the business. Like, no, that would be asinine. That would be stupid. So of course it's a level of understanding your surroundings. But one of the things I have is Black people are told that you even when you out the hood, you're not, you're not, you can take the hood out the nigga, but you can't take the nigga out the hood mentality. That's supposed to operate in life the whole time. And I believe I know for a fact they don't understand the detriment of that, of you boxing, like you said, boxing yourself in, because you go into a clear situation where great opportunity. Let's just say you got a big business deal or something coming up, and they see you on some nigga shit, for lack of better terms, bro, you're out of there. You're done. You again, if I'm giving you the chance to get in the, say you say you work for one international PR firm, right? And you got on the suit, You got the cut is crisp. You know what I mean? The hairline is always tight. You got on the shoe, but
Gotta be.
you know what I mean? Sounding like
I'm
sound.
glad. I'm glad you said that because here's the thing about that. Because within my, I've been told so many times that because I speak differently in certain facets. Like, and people tell me all the time, "Are you from the Midwest?" I'm like, "No, I'm from Macon." "You from Macon?" Like, "Where's your accent?" I'm like, "Well, I work on a daily basis to suppress my accent because I know that in certain environments, when I speak like I'm from Macon, because I've been raised like some people think I'm from Jamaica or Geechee or what have you. If I speak that way, they think lesser of my educational background if rather than me speaking clearly and concise in my messaging. And so,
Real quick, shout out to my man Judge Zilla. We have a guy here that said the same thing you just said, bro. Again, working on and understanding that. People don't understand that too. Like, yeah, man. It people do have the perception that if you're from the South and you have that Southern accent, that you have a lower level of intelligence. Unfortunately, people automatically you're typecast by your what I'm saying, your vernacular, by your vocabulary, by the way you choose your sentence structure and all those things, right? The slang or whatever you use when you're having a conversation in whatever setting it may be. So, like I said, man, you're really dropping a lot of gems here that a lot of people often don't know because all they hear is, "Oh, nigga, you being fake. Oh, nigga, you being white. You want to be white, huh?
I heard that so many times coming back to Macon. That's ridiculous. I don't heard that so many times.
So let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this. So whenever you go back home, and like I said, and of course we know it's all in fun, right? They don't really mean it by harm, but it's just like it's just like a little thing, a little jab, but it is some truth to it. It's even things that are said in jest have some truth to it, right? So what do you feel about that though when you have the credentials and the success behind it to prove that my method works?
Well,
Okay,
I mean,
go ahead.
I really don't. Let me tell you what. Because of my background and where I came from, they put me in special needs classes. They thought I was just too traumatized to be able to function in a regular classroom. And at that point in time, I was growing up. They were a lot of foster kids. They was given Ritalin and Prozac to calm down their behaviors, but not really addressing the issues or the issues that they have as far as traumatic childhood. So they placed me in special needs classes or those classes that they thought I needed a little bit more help, a little bit more work in. When in all actuality, I was just acting out from the childhood that I had, experienced. So with me coming back home, it doesn't bother me as it did, or so much so, like it bothered me in high school when I had to take some of those classes and I had people picking on me in high school or was in middle school picking on me. So I was able to develop, a thick skin. And then when I started playing sports and became good at it, people started recognizing who I was and my name started to get out there. You know, that was just an added bonus to bringing out the personality that I already had, but I had suppressed based on the people teasing me or bullying me in elementary school and middle school, what have you, from where I came from. And so me going back home nowadays, I look at those same people who caused me conflict and issues when I was growing up and see what they're doing with themselves now, and there is no comparison.
Oh, whoa, wait a minute. Hold on there,
I'm
brother.
just saying.
Hold there, brother. Hold on. So you mean to tell me, brother, that you look at the folks that told you that, I remember this too, man. I remember the people that had all the, they had the fresh J's, the day
All the time.
they had the polo, there was polo up and down, even living in Davis homes. I'm like, damn, you like, damn, this motherfucker, damn, they rich.
And I'm wearing Walmart shoes. I'm wearing stuff from Goodwill.
Yeah,
Stuff
yeah,
from Brothers
man.
and Coat Factory.
And they stunting on you because nigga, you ain't got this, nigga, you ain't got that, you ain't got no heel figure. Heel figure was okay back then until Pimp C said it. But
Duckhead, stuff like that, all that stuff.
Yeah, and then lo and behold, now that what I'm saying, you no longer can be carried by your parents and you got to do it on your own as an adult. What now? Yeah. And tell me how many times you heard this, brother. I just want to see. I'm just trying to test a theory. I remember back in high school when you was. I remember back in middle school when you was. Have you heard that whenever you go back home, man?
Here's the thing. I've heard it so many times. I mean, I can't even count it. I mean, I hear it all the time. I mean, I've cut off so many friends, people who were really I was really tight with in high school. I've cut them off because of the way they maneuver, the way they move with certain people, and how they, still have that same mentality from high school. I Every time I go
Oh,
back
so
home,
hold up.
whenever
So again, I don't have we ever hold up, real quick. Let me ask you this. Have I ever shared with you my 13th grade theory?
no,
All right, so you basically just summed it up. People that never let go of that high school or high school mentality of like that's where they peaked early, or that's
hmm
where the biggest point of their life was. So that's pretty much where they put a freeze and a timestamp on everybody, because at that point they were above people. And usually it's not even anything of, what I'm saying? Usually it's something like popularity or a chick being, fine and having like a big ass or something, like everybody trying to get
hmm
her. That's like your pinnacle of life. So what they do is, and the majority of black people, because our social hierarchy is just so messed up, it's so crazy. That's pretty much how we operate, and that leads back to so many of the other reasons and problems. I think we have this arrested development as a whole for the community. But
hmm
so yeah, man, I hear the same thing, bro. People still talk to me about playing basketball, man. Back from like, I remember you was trash. I remember you was trash in basketball, nigga. Now, even though I did make the damn varsity. Hey, I didn't get no burn. All right, but I made the team, nigga. It was you. You didn't make the team over me. I made the team over you. And furthermore, it's just like, what about now? You want to hoop now? Nah, man. Motherfuckers got grown men looking like they 9 months pregnant, bro. Talking to me about.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. But that's what everybody's stuck. They're stuck in the time, time freeze, like you mentioned a minute ago. They're stuck in the time freeze. You go back home. When I go back home, I see people that I went to high school with. I can't believe it. They look like they're, 20 years my senior. And I'm
Boy,
like, dude, like, what's going on? Like,
boy.
everybody has the same opportunity to make something of themselves. Like, why is it that you're still here? And why is it that, you don't have a job? Why is it that you have 4 or 5 kids? But why is it that you've not
I gotta
moved
stop you,
forward?
man. I don't want you to, you know what I mean? Hey, niggas shoot in Macon. I want you to be able to go back home. So we gonna leave that. We gonna leave that right there. We gonna leave it, because I don't want
I
to
don't
have
go
to
back home
team up.
anyway.
Yeah, I want us to have to team up the motherfucker and go home, man. Because niggas get in their feelings. Niggas get in their feels. Unfortunately, grown men get more emotional than everybody else.
I
So
agree with you on that.
now that you tell us more about your plug your own personal solo
Oh,
media.
my
Let's
business.
talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that.
Appreciate it. So yeah. So I started I meant to tack on this a little while ago, but I started solo media out of a need for creativity, man. That was just basically I was working doing everybody else's stuff at my jobs, at my the position that I worked in as director of community relations at that hospital, mental health hospital in Atlanta. And I was like, you know what? I want to get more of my creative side out. There's so much stuff I can be doing for other people. So I started working on this campaign with a lady who was running for commissioner in Clayton County. Her name was Felicia Franklin Warner, and she happened to be my cousin. So I was like, I'm gonna work on your campaign. We're gonna try to help you, become the commissioner in Clayton County. So I started doing her PR, started, writing her speeches, and started designing her materials and getting it all out. And people were like, "Oh, wow, this is some good stuff." So anyway, she won the election, and after she won the election, people just started calling me left and right. Now at this time, I hadn't really like I wrote the vision, but I hadn't made it plain. And so I was like, okay, you know what? I'm getting all these calls. People started to reach out to me. They like my work, and I made it official. By going the routes and making it official and making the a tax ID and all that stuff right there. And ever since then, I've ran campaigns for people who have run for sheriff, who've run for state house representative, who've run for local council positions, who've run for judges. I've ran a lot of positions. So I've been able to dabble in every field to learn about specifically what it is that each person does and then what those positions entail them do. I even ran a position for district attorney. And so solo media has allowed for me to go in and create, commercials, be able to go and speak to people about, what it is they're looking for in their representatives. It helps me to understand, just how to position my candidates to be the best they can be, not just by addressing the concerns of the people, but allowing for them to actually hear the concerns of the people and to be able to go out and enforce those concerns. And so it's also positioning me to maybe one day myself run for public office.
Oh man, see you a great minds think alike, man. I'm thinking the same thing, man. Myself, I don't know if I'm definitely go to Macon route, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm stockpiling on these firearms. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to start buying these this body armor. So I it may be down there one day. But
I mean, yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, here's the thing. I know that Macon isn't for me because I know where I'm trying to do with my life and with my children. I have 3 children, and where I'm trying to go with my business. Because, you know, Atlanta has the market that I need to be successful in order to continue to grow my business. But Macon does need people with, you know, the mindset and the passion and the drive to be able to move it forward. So, I mean, if that is you, then, you know, that should be something you should look into, because they don't have the leaders.
Hey, this YouTube shit is I can take anything, bro. They didn't gave me a bullet. So like I said, man, I'm really considering it. Possibly somewhere down the line, because I like, bro, home is always home. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to see home. You know what I mean? Pretty much get, you know, gentrified out to the point of where you don't know nobody there. Because I don't think people always talk about gentrification, right? But I don't think they understand that the ultimate fucking gentrification is like the whole history of it is removed, because everything is like, you know, just changed to the point and taken over to where like not even any of the original people that helped build the town. You know what I mean? People like, you know, Otis Redding's family, Little Richard's family, you know, people that were hell, Miss Carter.
Ella Carter.
Let me do this real quick. I done kept this PC for the most part, so you know, I can do this. If y'all hear this or whatnot, man, all love to Miss Carter. Is she a doctor? I think she Dr. Ella Carter.
I'm not sure.
Not sure, but hey, honorary, damn it, don't matter. Pretty much the grandma on the east side, man. The honorary grandma on the east side, man. This woman has did so many wonderful things for education wise, not just education, morals and structure, and just caring. You know, actually caring about the children. She wasn't, you know, because I remember one time they had some African dude come through there and he robbed the city. He robbed the school board. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I remember that guy.
And you know, yeah, man. And Miss Ella Carter, man, like I said, bro, I remember expeditiously. You know, we everybody used to joke her, man, but you know, as a kid, you never understand. She was so hard, she was so demanding. You know, you're not gonna come in here with your back alley cat ways, and we just gonna send you home. And she was teaching us very early, you know, elements today that's completely and totally lost in the Black community. You know what I'm saying? When kids are in a learning environment, they can't learn for kids that don't want to learn, and you don't have the home training. Something that was repeatedly said when we was growing up was home training. But then too, like I said, you know, despite your situation, unfortunately, I'm sorry, but you know, ideally, it was more 2-parent households, and you know, parents being more involved, you know, with their children. You know what I'm saying? And now it's getting fewer and further in between, because you have more children being made just for the sake of making it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know. So Miss Ella Carter, man, like I said, you know, she was my principal for all of my elementary school. Thought I finally got away from it. She came back, I think, at least definitely for our senior year. Was it our senior year and our junior year?
She came in hard for our senior year. She came through
for the senior year.
like lean on me type stuff.
yeah, man. that too. And people were so, because she, and again, right, she changed the school around, and people in a year's time. But you know, it was because of her roots and her anchor in education in Macon. And
in the east side, in the east side, he had a very good stronghold. Yeah,
east side, especially. Like I said, man, I don't think again, man, Miss Carter, bro, you know, unfortunately, I'm not wishing it, but you know, we all know that day go come. I like, bro, Macon should shut down, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But she's still, you know, she's still going, she's still rocking them heels. Miss Carter still got them heels on. She probably, I guarantee, she got whatever the newest Cadillac is. She driving around the newest Cadillac. And man, just shout out to Miss Carter, man. I just wanted to make sure I did that. Anytime I have my I didn't get a chance to do the last time we didn't talk about it, but I just wanted to do that. So you told us about the aspirations of possibly running for public office. What do you feel like? Do you feel like not enough of us, especially at our age, like, because I say that our generation, right, that's somewhere from like 28 to like 35, or like I would say like 39. I'm scared of 40, man, because these 40-year-old niggas in here scare me, bro. All these 40-year-old niggas on YouTube is weird, the majority of them. But we are the bridge to the gap, and I say we're the bridge to the gap because we seen like the old ways. We had real grandmas, we had links to morals and structure and all those things, but we also were the beginning of like the technology boom. You know what I'm saying? We had this VCR won't stop flashing. Why? And simple, mama. Flip the thing down, press time, hit the plus button, and there, voila. How'd you do that? It's not hard. It's not that hard. But don't you plug that? Don't you plug that thing?
Game in my go mess up my TV.
Go mess
I
up
know
my
about
TV. Mess up my TV. Mama, why would they? Mama, a grandma.
I heard that so many times, boy. God.
Why would they make something to work on the TV that's gonna mess up the TV? No, that's how they do it. All right, mom. All right, okay. Man, you know how long it, nigga. I cannot even take a Nintendo to my grandma's house. I had to wait till they made the Super Nintendo before, and then it was like a year into that for me to be able to take my Super Nintendo to my grandma's house. Man, it's crazy. So what do you think your oh yeah, and just like now, and we've seen it all, man. We've seen everything from VCRs to now you got self-driving cars, and we're just getting further and further and the whole technology takeover or whatnot. But yet still what's needed from human relations. And again, you're the subject matter expert in that, so you understand the importance of language, socializing, and all those things. And I think, especially with Black men, would you agree to the term, or if you would you agree that only Black men understand Black men, unlike any other demographic? Even the relation of a Black man's understanding of another Black man to a Black woman is on a unique basis, unlike any other demographic in the country.
I think that Black men have a special way of communicating with each other, and I think Black people in general have a special way of communicating with each other. Say, for instance, and this is just outside of the norm. Like, if I'm walking, if it's just you and me, and we in Wyoming, the widest place in Wyoming, maybe Jackson Hole. If I'm walking down the street and I'm passing you, most likely 99% of the time we're gonna nod at each other and keep going.
Yep.
That's an unspoken language Black people have with each other. Like, we see each other in a crowd of white folks. We're gonna find each other, we're gonna nod at each other or something, or acknowledge each other. So I think you mentioned a little while ago about Black men not running for office or public office. I think there's a lot of apprehension there. Right now, there are so many Black women that are stepping forward to run for public office to make change, but a lot of brothers are kind of falling back. And I noticed that in whatever field we may be in, like right now, a lot of Black women are leading the charge in opening small businesses. A lot of Black women are leading the charge and doing community initiatives, but the brothers are starting to fall back. So I don't know, what the deal is with that, or why they feel like we gotta start being silent on certain issues, or start, hiding behind certain things. But it's our time to step forward and do certain things. I know, like for me, I was researching. I'm always online researching some things, and I found that a young lady I went to high school with, one of her family members is actually a higher up, a government official in a small city. And I was like, well, she's younger than me. Why didn't I run for this position? Why haven't I run for this position? Why have I been waiting for the time to do certain things? I think that we've been conditioned, a lot of the Black men, to just sit back and wait and not really start trying to lead. And I think it's high due past time for us to start leading on certain things, man.
Wow. So wow, man. Like, it's like you've been here, man, but you ain't been here, man. So again, so it's kind of for the intelligent brother, man. It's innate, I guess just automatic thing in the back of our minds and understanding to see this. We talk about it here in the space all the time, man. The Black Manosphere, Thinking Black Man Space, um, about how the black woman is encouraged to be the leader. She's encouraged to be the head. Again, I'm pretty sure you're aware of the statistics, especially being in Atlanta, about
Mm-hmm.
70% of black households are ran by single mothers.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, the leadership of the black community, by and large, no question, doubt about it, is the black woman. So, so what do you think is, well, we know for sure it's some kind of subconscious thing for the black man to not understand or not feel like he should be a leader. But
I think that a majority of the times, or I think that the real reason right now, um, is because I think somebody mentioned in the comments a minute ago, is that black men haven't been told they can be leaders. They've only been looked at as team players. Sports, we've only been looked at as team players, not as the person that's going to lead the charge. Um, and that's really, our wrongdoing. We have to boost each other up, and we have to start producing more and more leaders outside of sports. Because sports is a team thing, but being an individual and being a leader and taking your own route, something we do.
And you know what? That's a great point, man. And again, I think a lot of brothers are cool from the sports aspects of it and the team building aspect of it from athleticism. But of course, like especially working in a firm is what? A team.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Mm-hmm.
think brothers aren't taught to, translate that from the football, basketball, or whatever athletic realm to the business and political or just, even community level. Because in order for a community to be able to thrive and build, it's not just going to be one person that's got to have the right framework, the moral, the requirements and all those things. It's going to take a team of people because you're going to need to have the checks and balances to where if somebody says something crazy and out the wall, like, hey man, that's going too far. It's going too
Mm-hmm.
far. You know what I'm saying? Or hey,
I
we need
agree.
to set up because that's a little too lax, and that gives people wiggle room to make excuses for mediocrity. So damn man, this is crazy. Um, like it's like you've been here the whole time, but and I'm glad though because to know there's a brother like you out here amongst the world living this, you know what I'm saying, having this
Yeah,
ideology, understanding. So you have one son, two girls, right?
I
One
do.
daughters.
You got it.
All right, yeah, one son, two daughters. So what's your take as far as so there's another big thing we hear here, and I was bringing it up before you came in. um, how many times have people asked you about mentoring someone, a young black man or young black men outside of your own family, your own son?
Ooh, I'm a member of a fraternity, one of the Divine Nine. So to be honest with you, man, I get asked that question uh, weekly.
Okay, so
Weekly.
what's your take on it? Okay, and I understand you have the association is already pretty much dedicated to that on like I guess like a community basis of volunteership or whatnot, servitude, nothing wrong with that by any means. But what's your take on that for your duty to your son and your own or the people you choose to do it for versus those that unfortunately didn't plan properly and never ever gave their sons the right chance or the right environment from the jump? What's your take on that?
Well, I do feel that that's kind of a double-edged sword. I mean, me personally, I've been asked to do this, several times, but I've declined um, because I just don't have the time to invest in someone outside of my son. My son has autism. And so that requires a lot of my patience, a lot of my time, and I have two other children as well. So I've been declining the opportunity to be a fixture in another, child's life for quite some time. I do think that mentoring is good. I mean, I do mentor. Um, I see the benefits of it because I had various different mentors throughout high school, but most of the time those mentors were female. Um, but yeah, I see the benefit of it. But for me personally, I just don't have the time to fully invest myself um, in trying to ensure that somebody else's child is raised properly.
All right, cool. And this is a big thing that we're told here. That again, the thinking black man and the successful, educated guy should come back to the community and save it. You should come in with your cape on and your wallet out and spend all the money to buy the football equipment and the shoes and pay the light bill so they ain't got to go hungry, food so they ain't got to go hungry and all these other things. But and still, like you said, they got 4 other brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying, coming right around keep being had. So I think the biggest issue and problem, man, like I said, and that's hard. It's like a guilt trip, you know what I mean, put on you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, bro, I'm a father, and I owe that duty to my bloodline that's got to continue before some stranger. And of course, I want to see other young black men make it, but by all means, and mostly this is a black women led thing because black women get to be women in general, but black women, particularly specifically, get to be irresponsible and get rewarded for their irresponsibility. Do you feel like
you stepping on toes?
Hey, man, it is what it is, bro. Hey, BABG, baby. Hey, I'm hard to miss. You gonna hit me. The irresponsibility of the black woman in the black community, it's like they're rewarded for it. So what's your take on that? Do you agree with that? Do you have some some other aspect?
No. I mean, I agree with you that people need to be just in choosing who they're going to procreate with. If you know, for all intents and purposes, that a nigga ain't shit, then why would you have babies by them and continue to move forward?
Several babies by
them. Yeah. So I don't. Me personally, I don't get that. I don't understand it, and there needs to be some accountability on that. So I mean, I agree with you on that. I mean, I think that accountability is what needs to happen, and stop laying down with people who ain't good for nothing but just dicking you down. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, man, brother, you ain't gotta hold no punches, man. This is free of however you want to get it. We really gets it in. This is really like this is like one of the most censored and most direct shows we've done. So trust me, bro. If you want to let loose, you can let loose. But I know, hey, you got to be careful because you don't know motherfuckers will go out here. Oh, he was saying this. So But so yeah, man. So how much time you got, brother? You got any time?
I got about another 15 minutes.
All right, good. So 15 minutes. I'll open it up, man. If anybody wants to hop up here and ask you a couple of questions, man, we'll ask you a couple of questions and let you get on your way. I definitely want to appreciate you for coming through, man, and telling your story because, like I said, I think guys like you are inspiration that really should be celebrated and be used for young men to aspire that it's possible because a motherfucker like me, I can never compare my situation. I was just my parents got divorced, you know what I'm saying, and that was pretty much it. I didn't have to go through the foster system. You literally beat the worst possible situations. You had a mother that was a drug addict and all these different things. You were abandoned, and yet and still, like I said, you are the the top percent. And I think as a black man, you will be in the top 5% if you over 6 figures or whatnot. Something like that. I forget the numbers, but especially in Georgia. So that is even higher because I know the median income in Georgia is not that high. So again, man, like I said, you definitely are the example and the inspiration that most young black men should want to do. But yet and still, like you said, the people to use are only the LeBron Jameses, the Migos, the Jay-Z's, these people that they more likely than not saying not to kill their dreams, but will never ever have a chance of being. But like you said, back with the athleticism, they could be you literally a million times easier if they just had someone put them on the correct track and tell them, hey, focus on this. It's cool that you can do this sports thing, but you also need to do this. So if and when the sports thing doesn't work out or whatnot, you can have this that's a guarantee to what I'm saying, and the longevity of it will make you just as much as that, sports aspect.
You're right. Definitely right.
Yeah, so my shout out to Crave Love. Median income in Georgia is about $61K. Well, I think that might be national. I think national.
Abram with the facts.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe medium income in some areas in Georgia. I know, in Alpharetta, most of the metropolitan cities. We're looking at Savannah, Some of those Atlanta, some of the northern cities in Atlanta, it may be the median household income be higher, but then again in Macon it may be a lot lower, and Columbus may be a lot lower, and Augusta may be a lot lower. It just depends on where you are.
See what it says. Yeah, now Georgia, median income is $55,679. The average household income is 78,574.
Okay.
So like I said, man, it's crazy as to how, like, I was what was I doing? I was oh, okay, that's what it was. I was looking for the refi because they dropped the damn they bottomed out pretty much the mortgage rates. So I was looking to get my crib refi, and bro, I looked at how much money I made, and I didn't even know I made that much money, and that's just like my main job. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, man. I think that, like, we somebody said it in the chat. Shout out to I think it was Wise Will. How you said it, and you alluded to it too. How the black man is always like, oh, nigga, you get to you think you somebody, you think you doing something, you think this, you think that, you think this, and it's like, okay, yeah, I'm supposed to. Not only I'm not thinking it, I got it. I can prove it. I can show it to you. The numbers say, if and when I compare it to it, if you are a black man making over the national median income, bro, you're doing something. I don't give. I do not care. Okay. All right. Unless you like living in like New York City or Chicago or California, then I'm sorry for you, brother. I suggest you move though. That's a real easy fix. Just get the U-Haul, and move.
Yeah.
But like you said, man, far too often I think we're literally and purposely stunted in our confidence in recognizing just how good we are doing, especially when we came from Macon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember this, and I don't know if I ever said this. Man, my mom got divorced from my stepdad, and we were in when we were in that, I think, the 8th grade, and he left, man. And my mom had just had my youngest sibling, and we moved to my grandma's house, bro. And like, I was so ashamed because we were living with my grandma. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, man, I just didn't want nobody to know or whatever, like cramped ass little old house, And I was just like, damn, bro, this shit is crazy. Then my ass fucked around and had a growth spurt from like the 8th grade to it was the 9th grade to 10th grade, and none of my motherfucking clothes fit. And my mom's trying to, oh, they good. I'm like, Mom, my whole ankle is showing. What's going on here? Like, man, and I didn't realize everybody else is telling me. So yeah, man, it's crazy, like you said, man. When you come from stuff like that, brother, and you're being at the very least financially successful, but not to mention as a family man, as a man, period. You know what I mean? Just on principle, being doing great things and overcoming that.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
But yeah, man, I ain't gonna hold you up too long, man. I greatly appreciate you, stopping by to tell us your story, man. Like I said, we definitely need to hear more of this. And of course, by all means, man, somebody from the town, man, from the hometown, bro, hometown heroes, bro. We gotta, show these young dudes out there that's now, because they way up worse off than where we was.
Oh yeah, you can see that.
Yeah, man.
Quite apparent, man.
Yeah, bro.
I appreciate you for having me on, man. Anytime, let me know. I'm more than welcome to come on and talk, man. Love it.
Not a problem, brother. Thank you, man.
Not a problem, man. Talk to y'all later.
For sure. The link's still in the chat if anybody wanted to hop on and give your 2 cents. If not, I'm gonna run my mouth on my horrible mic that no one can hear for probably like another 5 minutes, and I'll just shut this thing down. Easy to me, man. It's easy day. Hey, man, y'all better respect this thing, man. I done put in a lot of work in this thing, bro. All right. I just seen my my analytics, bro. My shit has went up more than 500,000. I mean, not 500,000. Yeah, 500,000. Yeah, went up more than 500,000 in 30 days. 688,000 or some shit like that. So thank you for hating. Keep the hate going. Shout out to Crave Love. Appreciate you. And ain't nothing gonna stop this, man. After this, did my little workout, gotta hop in the shower. Me and my son about to go have some fun. He want to go motherfucking jump in this bounce house or whatever the hell this shit is, the bounce place. So we'll see what's up with that. Epic, I've been shadow banned, bro. I've been shadow banned. It's just another one, man. But yeah, still the haters keep coming. The shadow ban's actually a good thing because at least with the damn shadow ban, niggas don't come in my shit and flood the dislike button. But they'll probably catch it on the playback. It don't matter. It takes the playback to show up in people's notifications usually like 12 to 13 hours. So I'm doing this fairly early. So what? Well, nah, it'll probably be some before the night's out. But listen, man, ultimately, I still got faith in some of you niggas. Not all of y'all, but some of y'all, okay, that we need to, get this message outside of this area. Thinking Black Man Space, Black Manosphere, to the actual world, and it's only going to happen when, like you said, King Solo said, man, we get out here into these positions of power and influence as public elected officials and prominent heads of certain organizations and businesses and all of those things, man. I know we can do it because we've came from the worst of positions and had some of the most adversity of any demographic on the planet, all right? Not just in the country, on the planet. So by all means, man, if and when we can overcome our circumstances and not be products of our environments, man, we can surely, dominate as leaders, and influencers, thinkers, things like that. All in all, man, this space is supposed to be a place to where we come together and we give the roadmap for that. Not anything super diabolical or deep or whatever. That's never going to happen on the internet. And again, I say that and I triple, quadruple, 10 times platinum that shit down, brother. The internet is not the place for any serious Black community plans to be hashed out. If you're having them, it's funny. Okay, it's hilarious. All right. That's something that's going to have to be done face to face, man to man. In order for that to happen, we first have to gather, gain an actual respect for the Black man to another Black man, and that just doesn't exist, man. Okay, unfortunately. And again, the window is closing rapidly on us ever even being able to achieve it. But all in all, man, like I said, this was a light one, real quick. Hell, I ain't just ran my mouth for an hour in a long time. So all in all, man, that's all I got for now. Appreciate y'all for support, for coming through, and that's that on that one. And I'll catch you on the next one.